What is up, everybody? What is up? We are back here live on PGH Chris TV. I am your host, PGH Chris. Welcome to the PGH Chris Show. We got a lot of things to talk about. It's been a minute. Been very tied up with the pro wrestling side of things. Been very busy with a couple other side projects going on in the pro wrestling world on the Sports Jedi Network, which you guys can go subscribe to. We are closing in on 20,000 subscribers on the Sports Jedi Network. Make sure you guys go listen to me and Kev's review on AEW Revolution. I will be talking about AEW Revolution on tonight's show briefly, because I did go into depth all that on the Sports Jedi Network, and tomorrow night I got my Dynamite review. So I am going to talk a little bit about AEW here, at some point during the show. But first, before we get into anything, you guys know that PGH Chris TV is powered by G Fuel Energy. G Fuel. Use code PGHChris to save yourself 20% off. That is code PGHChris, or go to gfuel.com/PGHChris. I believe right now it's actually at a 30% discount for the next couple of weeks. So go to G Fuel, use code PGHChris, and you will get 30% off your order. We got a lot to talk about. World Baseball Classic, Steelers making moves on free agency, AEW Revolution. But we're going to start things off differently. We're going to start the show off here differently, normally how we would. And that is because I'm going to be doing something I've never done before. Not just on this channel, but really ever. So I was with a buddy of mine, and he's very big into sports collectibles, sports cards. He had a bunch of extra packs. Now I'm actually interested now. So if you guys like what you guys are about to see, maybe I'll try to find some WWE top chrome cards, and I'll do a live opening here on stream. But I did do a reaction. I did do a live opening, and I want you guys to see that. So to start off the show, before we get into the World Baseball Classic, before we talk about the Dominican Republic, that strike, Puerto Rico getting eliminated, the finals, before we talk about Michael Pittman coming to Pittsburgh, before we talk about anything that happened at Revolution, let's open some sports cards. Let's transition over to the sports card opening setup that I did today. And I think you guys are going to be excited. I think you guys are going to be excited. Let me know. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to warn you. It's nothing special. This is just and it's not good. I'm going to be honest. I'm willing to say that. And what I mean by that is I have no idea what I'm doing opening these cards. So you guys are going to watch. And I think I might make this a new segment here on the show. But without further ado, let's transition and let's open some sports cards. Transition down here. Let's open these packs. So we got two. My buddy gave me two of these Rookie and Stars Panini cards. A buddy of mine got a whole pack and just said, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool to open it for one of your videos or one of your streams?" So let's open one. Let's see what in these two. Maybe if I interested in these, or you guys are interested in these, maybe I will do these more often. But let's see what we got here. We got Kyle Hamilton. Okay, let's see what we got. So we got right here. We got Kyle Hamilton. It's a rookie and Stars here with Max Crosby. We got a little. All right. We got some old school Drew Bledsoe. Man, these are fucking upside down now. Jason Taylor. Let me flip all these. So this is what I started with, the Kyle Hamilton. All right. You got a nice little Javon Kearse card. Deshaun Jackson for all my... Or that's AJ Brown, excuse me. Holy shit, I thought for a glance it looked like Deshaun Jackson. Okay, so this is McMillan's rookie card right here from the pack. I'll put that over here. Over here we got Dylan Gabriel. Or no, we got Mason Graham. A draft class card. We got not a good one there. Another Mason Graham. So we got two Mason Graham rookie editions here. We got his draft class card. We got his rookie card right here. And another rookie here for McMillan. So not a bad start. Not a bad start right here. But we're going to keep it going with our last one. I want you guys to see me actually opening him so you guys know that nothing's, you know, fake, or I'm not taking the easy way out right here. So let's go for another pack here. Let's see what we get. Xavier, Jamal Charles. Yeah, now these are going to go upside down. So let's put these right here. Jalen Hurts, Najee Harris, Tyler Warren, another rookie card. Lamar Jackson. Oh, okay. Look at this one right here. Not a bad one here if you're a Ravens fan. This is a number 2. You can see on the back right here it's numbered. So that's cool. That's cool. Well, half of them are fucking numbered, honestly. We got from these ones, we got the Jamal Charles and Tony Pollard from that pack. We got the Najee Harris. We did get the Matthew Golden, Pat Bryant, and that was all for those 2 packs. So the ones that I do like this Lamar Jackson one, even though I am not a Steelers fan, of course, but that's a cool one. It's always cool seeing a draft card, and obviously this rookie one is pretty cool too. So with that, guys, that was this part of the PGHChris TV show. Now let's transition back into the show. Alrighty, we're here. We're back. That was the sports card opening segment here on the PGHChris show. We're going to try to make that kind of a maybe I am going to, after the stream's over, I am going to get ready for NXT with Kev on the Sports Jedi Network tonight. So, which I actually got to, get that going. But I am going to try to find the hearts, the what is it, the top chrome or whatever, the WWE cards. I'm going to actually try to find where I can't find them anywhere. Let's see, GameStop nearby, they have them. For context, chat, this is what I'm trying to look for. Is these right here. But I don't know. It says 2 exclusive Galaxies parallels per box, 1 per box. I want to know if they have this. Oh, they have AEW cards. Oh, those are from 2021. They have NXT trading cards, but these are the new ones. So I'm gonna have to try to see if I could find those nearby in my local area. And maybe I'll do a review, an opening, a live opening, just dedicated to that. It won't be a part of the PGHChris show. It will be a part of something else. I'll just make a completely separate video on it. But let's talk about some stuff going on in the sports world and the pro wrestling world. Let's start off with Revolution, AEW Revolution, because I did talk about that. Holy hell, excuse me. I didn't know what word I wanted to say. I already briefly talked about that, and I'm going to be honest. Again, me and Kev had a great conversation yesterday about it. I liked it. I said this yesterday. I enjoyed it. The length of it is still ridiculous. There's no way that these AEW pay-per-views should be ending at 12:30 Eastern time and midnight. I'm actually terrified if I actually do end up going to Double or Nothing, because if they were in the West Coast, so the West Coast, they were done at 9 o'clock. But I still don't know why AEW won't start their main cards at like 7. Have your pre-show at like 5 or 6 and then start your main card at 7. I think the show flows out. Or take away some matches. Just take away some matches, and I think you'll be I think they'll be all right. I think the fans won't necessarily complain as much. But it wasn't bad. Ronda Rousey showing up. I'm not gonna go into everything. I did that yesterday. I'm just gonna talk about 3 things: Ospreay, Ronda Rousey, and two. Those are the only 2 things. And MJF and Hangman. Let's start with Ronda Rousey. Again, whether you like her or you don't like her for whatever reasons, her name, it draws itself. She has, done a lot for women's combat sports. She's about to probably main event the first ever show on Netflix. So it's very important that Ronda Rousey at least gets some type of respect in that aspect. We got my guy Chris Denver in the fucking building. Chris Denver, salute, brother. Thank you so much for joining here. You're watching from the YouTube. I really appreciate it, brother. Welcome to the PGH Chris show. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Revolution. What do you think about your favorite football team's free agency, or anything else you want to talk about? This is all sports. This is wrestling combined. This is anything you want to talk about. My name is on the fucking show. We can talk about whatever we want, guys. Whatever we want. Whatever PGH Chris, whatever you guys tell PGH Chris to talk about. That's why it's called that. I want you guys to talk to me. I want you guys to tell me what it is that I need to be talking about on here. And not too much pro wrestling. I try to keep the pro wrestling very limited. And we're going to continue to do that because I like doing my pro wrestling with my partner, with Kev. And we got some great things in the future lined up over there. This is sports, but I think I want to very much make that clear. Sports and whatever's going on, in that aspect. But it is important that we talk about the big things going on in the pro wrestling world. And Revolution was one of them. Ronda Rousey, again, I don't think it's long term, but we'll see what happens with that. And I'm by the way, I mentioned all that to say I'm not going to be on here talking wrestling for another 10 minutes. This is going to be like a 3-minute little review about things that I came to my head. Ospreay, I liked Ospreay. I don't think he's ready to take that title off MJF. It's going to happen maybe, but I don't see it happening, in this year's Wembley. I see the match happening, but I don't know if this year's the right time. But I like their match, him and Hangman at the main event, Texas Death. Chris Denver in the chat says, I think Revolution was excellent pay-per-view. Although I really enjoyed Tekla versus Chris and FTR versus Bucks and Bandito versus Andrade. Yeah, I liked Tekla versus Statlander. I do think that Tekla being the AEW Women World Champion is going to draw some interest. I know a lot of people like her, including myself. So I like that she is still your AEW Women's World Champion. I liked Bandito and Andrade. Excellent match. I do think that could have been on the Dynamite card. And I'll tell you why. It's because they put that match really, really late in the card. And by the time that match happened, they followed up with Darby and Friends. And then by the time the main event started, I was really tired. Really tired. So I don't, I don't see why they had the match on Revolution, but the match was fucking incredible. FTR and the Bucks, it was all right. It was all right. Again, I know you were there yesterday, but if you want to really, really hear what I had to say about last night's show, I will link the review show in the description on my YouTube after the stream is over. But go to the Sports Jedi Network YouTube and just go watch the review that we did yesterday. It was really good stuff. Had a good conversation there. But Revolution was okay. Not too much there to get into that I didn't already yesterday with Kev. So with that being said, we're gonna transition on to the actual sports. We're gonna start off with the World Baseball Classic. But before we go into the World Baseball Classic, I want to tell you guys again about our sponsor, G Fuel Energy. Before we go into the sponsor, let's read Chris Denver's comment real quick. The Ronda Rousey situation, before I actually transition on to the World Baseball Classic. The Ronda Rousey situation, I'm mad about it, but my older brother and friend glad and happy. Yeah, I mean, look, I know Ronda Rousey's not everybody's cup of tea. Um, I understand that people might not like her for whatever the situation might be, but I do think she'll draw some interest in the terms of she is one of those people, right? If you hate her, you're gonna want to watch her. Anyway, if you like her, obviously you watch her. So she's gonna get eyeballs either way. Again, she has a big fight coming up against Gina Serrano, I think her name is, going up. Probably gonna be the main event of the first ever Netflix show, um, first ever MMA show on Netflix. Excuse me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, Chris. I don't think she's gonna be there long term. I think she'll be there for a cup of coffee, maybe a tag team match with Marina. We're lucky, maybe if we get a she does it. I don't even think she'll do a singles match, especially before that fight. Um, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird. It's gonna be interesting. I hope she is promoted. I do am curious. Do want her to go on the mic and talk about whatever it is she has to say. And if that happens, Chris, you can check me out on the Sports Jedi Network like you usually do. Wednesday nights, immediately following AEW Dynamite, I go live to review AEW, and then I do the pay-per-views the afternoons after. Now we're going to transition into the World Baseball Classic. But before I do, let's hear from our friends at G Fuel. I want to tell you about our friends at G Fuel. All right, quick timeout in today's video. I want to talk to you guys about our sponsor, G Fuel Energy. If you're anything like me, you're locked in for late nights, breaking down games, watching wrestling, gaming, or just grinding content and coffee isn't cutting it anymore, this is where G Fuel comes in. No sugar, no crash, just clean energy that keeps you focused on pregame all the way through overtime. Whether I'm live, recording, or locked in the slate of games, G Fuel keeps me going. They've got a ridiculous lineups of flavors, collaborations, and a whole other group of well-known content creators a part of the movement. So you're definitely going to find one that hits. This is legit energy for creators, gamers, and sports fans who don't slow down. Use promo code PGHChris when you check out. It saves you money and supports the channel, which you guys know I appreciate more than ever. Again, that's G Fuel Energy /PGHChris, or use my promo code PGHChris for 20% off checkout. Now, let's get back into the video. All right, let's talk a little bit about some baseball before we get into some football. The World Baseball Classic has been happening for the last few weeks. I've been enjoying it. I enjoyed the World Baseball Classic. I enjoyed the World Baseball Classic in 2023. I thought it was very fun, especially, with me cheering on Team Puerto Rico. We had a good team. 3 of our best players are there. I'll get into that when we get into the Puerto Rico portion of the World Baseball Classic. I know some people have their opinions about the World Baseball Classic, and I can respect that because at times, and I think we've seen it a lot in this tournament, especially in the last few games of this, quarterfinal, semifinal rounds, where does it at times feel a little gimmicky? You can argue. If you have that complaint, if you are one of those people like Mad Dog Chris Russo, who think that the World Baseball Classic is a little gimmicky, I don't blame you. But I will say it is refreshing to have a team. Me, obviously, I team for Team Puerto Rico. Having a team for baseball that I could cheer on for. I'm gonna say this again. I've said this numerous of times throughout on my show. Being a Pittsburgh Pirates fan is hard. It's not fun. I don't want to be a Pirate. I don't want even want to watch baseball at this point. Chris in the chat, and I will get into the football portion of it, Chris. I promise. Bear with me here. But I am gonna read your comment. Free agent for my Broncos. We had a great season this past season, getting eliminated by the Patriots. 10-7 in the AFC Championship. Hopefully Bo Nix uh come clear again. I was sad when he got hurt versus the Bills. Yeah, guys, let's take a pause from the World Baseball Classic real quick because Chris is a day one guy, and I do want to acknowledge his comments. And I will say this before I do talk about the football and the NFL stuff because the World Baseball Classic talk isn't going to be for long, I promise. But I'll say this for now. I think if Broncos have Bo Nix, you're going to the Super Bowl. You guys a couple hours ago just got Jalen Waddle, if I'm correct. If I'm not corrected, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, the Broncos are looking very, very, very good. And I'm gonna put a pause on that until I get into the football part of things. But let's stick with the World Baseball Classic. So, you know why I think this shit's could be a little gimmicky? They really, really found themselves a way to put Team USA into the quarterfinals. I don't understand why they do the run differentials or with these weird extra inning rules or whatever. When I was watching that one Puerto Rico game that I'm watching, I think it was against Panama where we hit that walk-off home run in the 10th inning. Dude, we tied the game up with 2 outs left. And if I'm not wrong, I don't remember the third out. I could have sworn there was no third out, and it was like, okay, we guys tied the game bottom of the ninth. Now it's the overtime, and I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. Maybe I was wrong on that, but some of the shit does feel a little gimmicky. Now this is what but I don't care because like I just mentioned, being a Pirates fan is very, very hard. I have nothing to look forward to during baseball season. I know my team's not going to be playing baseball in October. There's just no point of watching the games and investing my time. I only go to the games when they're in Philadelphia because it's closer. I don't even want to take the 3-hour drive back up to the Berg for the Pirates. It's not worth it. So whatever. But the last few games have been pretty fun. I do want to talk about the quarterfinal game because obviously the team that I'm talking about that I was rooting for, and that was Team Puerto Rico. It was tough to see Team Puerto Rico kind of get eliminated. I know me and Kev were watching the show or the game, excuse me. Just us two enjoying it, rooting for Team Puerto Rico. But what killed us, and honestly, what almost kicked Italy in the ass, but we had a very, very bad second inning. They I think scored 4 runs in the second inning. Because if you look right here, right? I mean, the first inning was good. We saw the home run to center field. It was, it got Puerto Rico that momentum that they needed to early. But I don't know what was wrong with their pitching, especially in that second inning, but they just could not do anything. Italy was hitting left and right. They get a single with a man on base, and that gets Italy a run. And then another guy comes up, single, Italy scores another run. A guy comes up, single, Italy scores another run. I'm like, what the hell? And then granted, it didn't take Puerto Rico until the 8th inning to get those bats rolling. Christian Vasquez, I remember hit that single that gave Puerto Rico the 6 runs. But we didn't really do much. I know Martin Maldonado got hit by a pitch, and that kind of got the crowd going. I just don't think at times they were smart, especially, on those counts where it's full count, where it's 1-2, 2-2. I don't think they were careful. I don't think they protected the plate as maybe as well they should. And then I think their pitching was fucking awful. I don't even think Edwin Diaz. You know what? I never seen a manager, and that's another thing about the World Baseball Classic that I have a small criticism with, even though I love the event as a whole. I've never seen fucking managers at left and right come out and managers time out every single 3 pitches. And I get it. If you lose one game especially in those pool plays, you're very much at risk because the only people that advance in the pools are the winners and the runner-ups. So Puerto Rico going 2-0 in the pool and then losing to Canada didn't really hurt them, except maybe we not maybe um we would be playing the United States if we would have won our pool. Who knows what that game would have went like, because United States ended up playing Canada in that first round. Canada ended up winning our pool. So it was interesting. The Dominican Republic game, let's talk about that real quick. They played the United States. I believe it was on Sunday. And USA won by 2. My guy, Pittsburgh Pirate, Paul Skeens, pitched a great game. Um, the Dominican Republic didn't play well. It was both teams didn't play exactly perfect, but I just I don't know how to explain it. I don't care about the Rockies. I still like the logo. It's just the GM don't care about getting great players. It's only about money. Our GM doesn't even give a fuck about that. Bob Nutting, the owner for the Pittsburgh Pirates, is the worst GM, is the worst owner in baseball history. He fucking sucks. That's why when I mentioned earlier, Chris, it's not fun being a Pirates fan. It's just not. It's not. I have nothing to look forward to. I agree. I agree with you. Your the problem you have about your Rockies, I have sort of similar and more about the Pirates. But Dominican Republic, yeah, they couldn't get the bats going either. Look, that let's talk about that strike. That strike, that was a ball in my opinion. I think it was low. I think it was a good enough curveball to where the umps called it before they saw the ball actually drop. It's tough. It's tough. I think it was a ball. That's why I'm not an umpire. So who knows? Who knows? But it will be in the finals tonight, actually, on Fox. Probably not probably at 8 o'clock. It'll be Team Venezuela in the finals, taking on Team USA. USA will be in the finals for the second World Baseball Classic in a row. Um, they might have were in it in 2000 and the year they did it before COVID. But it's I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win this. I think Venezuela. If their pitching can come in clutch, I think Venezuela actually has a chance of winning the World Baseball Classic. But I do think USA is gonna win. I'm rooting for them. Obviously, I am an American, so I was born in the United States. So obviously, hoping for the boys to go out there, get those bats rolling, and get some trophy back to the states. But overall, it's a fun baseball classic. Upset, very very upsetting and hard to understand that it's not just Francisco Lindor, Javi Baez is an insurance problem, but we didn't have our 3 best players. But for specifically talking right now about Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor, where they couldn't get the insurance. It's not just them. It was Altuve. It was Mike Trout, Lars Nootbaar. A couple cats couldn't get the insurance to play in this tournament this year. So hopefully in 2029, we get the 3 guys back. We can go on a run and win the World Baseball Classic. I love how invested the fans are. I don't think the United States care as much. Obviously, the United States fans are they care about representing. All these countries are very very prideful when it comes to seeing their people on the big stage, and that's what the World Baseball Classic provides. That's why I'm very much enjoy the fuck out of it. And it's cool to see it. It's cool to see it. So that's been the World Baseball Classic. Tonight is the finals between Venezuela and USA, and we'll see who wins. I love the Nuggets. Talking a little bit of basketball here. I love the Nuggets, but I think Jokic and Murray are struggling to carry winning games. But I can deal with number 5 seeding or the number 5 seed. Hopefully they don't drop to 7th. Yeah, as long as you guys have Jokic, you guys will be a top 5 seed. I think the Nuggets are, I don't think together, but you guys do also have other players that I think play well. Obviously, Jokic is the guy on your team. He's your main scorer, your main rebounder. He's the guy that everybody relies on your squad. No question about it. Um, but yeah, Jamal Murray's not playing well. And I know that because gambling experiences in the last couple of weeks. Speaking of that, make sure you guys go check out my Moneyline Mondays on my Discord, which will be in the link into the description on YouTube. My Discord, PGHChrisTV, Sports Jedi Network Discord as well. I will also put those in the description of the videos. So, with that being said, guys, let's transition into the football part of things, which is what you guys are here for, which is what you guys really want to talk about. But before we get into that, let's hear again from our sponsor, G Fuel Energy. Thank you to G Fuel. Make sure you use that promo code to save yourself, for now, 30% off, but 20% off at the least. Or go to gfuel.com/PGHChris and you will get the same discount there. If you guys want to be a part of the show, I will be doing a new kind of thing that I'm working on, especially on the X side of things, because X is the main platform that I stream on. So I want to make sure that, you guys can ask me questions. I know, Chris, thank you again for being in the chat. You guys can obviously ask me questions in the chat wherever you're watching. Kick, Twitch, Rumble, X, YouTube. I will have a show, Facebook exclusive, coming soon. Something different going on. Nothing really wrestling or sports related, but kind of for the local guys here in the scene. So I got a couple things coming up. My guys, we started radio stuff here. We got some things going on. So it's gonna be a fun year. It's gonna be a fun year for everything. Well, we got to talk about this, and I don't know if it's gonna be a fun year for football. It could or could not be. For the league, I know some teams made a lot of explosive moves, and maybe we'll talk about the highlights of that. But we're gonna talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, they have been having a bit ever since free agency opened up. The Steelers been having a busy free agency. Let's start with the big one. Michael Pittman from the Indianapolis Colts is now a Pittsburgh Steeler. I mean, it's literally in the fucking name. It's literally in the name. I liked it. I like it. I love it. Michael Pittman, we got him in a trade with the Colts, along with a 2026 7th round pick, specifically the 230th pick, in exchange for a 2026 6th rounder, 214th overall pick. Pittman has signed a 3-year, $59 million deal with the Steelers. Desperately needed a wide receiver too. Calvin Austin, who made a video, who's no longer with the Steelers anymore. He's with the Giants. Well wishes to Calvin Austin. Thank you for, the plays that you made in Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna shit on the kid. I think he came in clutch for us when we needed him. But we needed a better wide receiver too, to pair alongside DK Metcalf, and we got that. Now, I'm gonna ask the obvious question. I'm not gonna stop asking this question as long as I have a platform. and that is who's throwing the fucking ball. Is it going to be number 8? Is it going to be number 18? Are we going to get somebody? Kyler Murray's out the window. There's nobody really left. I do have a feeling at this point it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Let's just going to go with the fact that it's Aaron Rodgers. Pairing up Aaron Rodgers with the actual second wide receiver is very, very good. It's very good. Now, we got some more running back help. Rico Dow from the Panthers signed formerly with the Panthers, signed a 2-year deal, $12 million. Pat Fryermuth's still there getting a bag. Upgrading the offensive line, we got a new offensive tackle signed. Jack Driscoll signed for a 1-year deal. We got something. We got something. This is the one thing I'd say now, in terms of like a wide receiver 3 or something like that. Is this the year that Roman Wilson makes a fucking impact? I'm gonna say this one more time. Is this the year that Roman Wilson makes a fucking impact on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense? I think he's very promising. I've been saying this for a long time. I watched him play in college. I understand the health, but it's like, guys, we have not seen him play. We saw him in a game for what, 3 or 4 snaps, 5 snaps. We saw him a little bit more in the preseason. I don't understand. I think this kid could get open. I think if you give him the ball, he can make some explosive plays like a Calvin Austin. I don't think they're going to go out there and sign a wide receiver 3 that's credible. I mean, look at the last couple of wide receiver 3s that they've tried to sign over the last couple of years. Mike Williams, he had that heck of a catch that Russell Wilson threw to him. Did not work. Marquez Valdes-Scantling did not work. Fucking terrible. And when we needed to rely on him when DK got suspended, he absolutely fucking blew. He sucked. He was terrible. He did not know what the plays were. It looked like he was running the wrong routes. It looked like Rodgers was pissed off at him every single play. You can see it in the huddle too. It's just I'm very happy with this pickup. Let's just see who can be that other guy. Who's that other guy going to be? And I think it is and should be Roman Wilson. But Cam Hayward signed a new 2-year deal with the Steelers. 2-year, $32 million. I think he's a crybaby. I'm gonna be honest. I think Cam Hayward is such a fucking crybaby. Oh, I'm this. I know you guys gave me a bag a couple years ago, but I need a new contract. I want more money. The market's going up. Yeah, the market's going up for pass rushers, guys like Trey Henderson, guys like T.J. Watt, guys like Max Crosby, Micah Parsons. Pal, you're a washed up DN, 36 years old. I respect the living hell out of you because I think you've done a lot for Pittsburgh. You represent the city well. You represent the team well. You're a hell of a leader, hell of a team captain. But I'm like, at the same time, I think he's also very greedy. I think he is full of himself. I think thinks he's better than what he actually is. And that's the truth. That's how I feel about Cam Hayward. I love him to death. I think he's a legend. He's gonna go in the Pittsburgh Hall of Fame. But his greediness, his I want the more money, blah, it's annoying. And then this guy has a podcast. He lets Joey Porter Jr. start a whole ex-Steelers player war, and then he has shit to say about Tomlin. I'm not fucking with it. I'm gonna be completely honest. They re-signed cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. To a 1-year, $4 million deal. I think $4 million to pay this guy is fucking ridiculous. Now, yes, PGH Chris, it's not a lot. I understand that, but why? I do want to know why. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. But those are the key people that the Steelers have re-signed, or excuse me, have gotten in this free agency and have re-signed. Re-signed Cole Holcomb to a 2-year deal. Re-signed, again, re-signed Asante Samuel Jr. Re-signed Ezekiel Auditumio, whatever the fuck his name is. They got some good people. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see if anything else coming in the Steelers' way in the next few weeks. I know stuff's happening right now, and let's go to Chris Denver. Let's talk about Chris Denver's team because that's something that's hot. The Denver Broncos. They got Jalen Waddle, and I like it. I like it. They re-signed J.K. Dobbins. I know I like him from his Ohio State days. Obviously, you can see that in the background right here. Yeah, Bo Nix, Cortland Sutton, Jalen Waddle. You guys re-signed your tight end. Chris, I think the Denver Broncos could go to the Super Bowl. I said this earlier. That's why I wanted to put a pin on it. I think you guys would have went to the Super Bowl if Bo Nix is healthy. I don't think Drake May. We saw Drake May played in the Super Bowl. Drake May didn't even play that well against your fucking backup. And you guys were only 3 points away from going to the Super Bowl, tying it up for 4 points away from going to the Super Bowl. I think the Broncos are very promising to win the AFC this year. I do. Um, I do think that romance, that Kansas City shit's gonna die down. Travis Kelce re-signed for 1 year. They got Justin Fields probably to be their backup, but they made a hell of a pickup. They got the reigning Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. They signed him to a 3-year, worth up to $45 million, $28 million guaranteed. He's getting a bag. So maybe we'll see. Maybe they can use Justin Fields and I know Patrick Mahomes is not bad in kind of the veer offense, read option stuff, but Justin Fields I think you could use him in a lot of packages with Kenneth Walker. There could be good. The Raiders. I'll talk more about the draft before the draft because it's in Pittsburgh and I haven't decided if I'm going to be there or not. So I'll let you guys keep you guys updated with that one. I'm trying to figure out what other news. The Colts re-signed Daniel Jones to a 2-year, $88 million, which a lot of these teams see something in Daniel Jones. Even the fucking what are they? The New York Giants gave this guy a bag after he took him to a playoff appearance once. Okay. They re-signed Alec Pierce, 4-year, $114 million. Um, anything else that's interesting? I know I talked a little bit about the Max Crosby situation going on. The Ravens were completely right to do what they did. They got Trey Heckerson, and I'm gonna be worried. I'm gonna be very worried. Geno Smith is back with the New York Jets. Brees Hall is franchise tagged by the Jets. Romeo Doubs is a New England Patriot. That's a good pickup for them. Malik Willis is going to be the starting quarterback in Miami. So that's going to be one that's going to be interesting there as they rebuild everything. The Bills got DJ Moore, which gives Josh Allen another, reliable target on the offensive side of things. And I think Josh Allen's phenomenal. So he needs that. George Pickens got the franchise tagged with Dallas, which that really makes me upset. Really makes me jealous. The New York Giants, they made some moves. Patrick Richard, fullback formerly with the Ravens. Calvin Austin, re-signed Isaiah Hodgins. Uh, got tight end Isaiah Likely. It's gonna be, the Giants, man. Do they have? Can they make some noise and maybe win the NFC East? The Eagles' offense got maybe a little bit better. I mean, they got Marquise Brown. Is he kind of the replacement for AJ? Is Marquise the new Brown in Philly? We shall see. We shall see. Isaiah Pacheco with the Detroit Lions. That's a shakeup there in the NFC. Kyler Murray with the Minnesota Vikings. Looks like he will be taking JJ McCarthy's starting spots. Tua Tagovailoa with the Atlanta Falcons. I know the Falcons faithful aren't too happy about that, as well as Kyle Pitts receiving the franchise tag. I don't think he has produced as much as I think people expected him to. So that's gonna be interesting there. Our guy Kenneth Gainwell going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That is a you know tough pill to swallow. And before I wrap this stream up, I think it's Mike Evans, to save this one for last. Mike Evans is no longer a Tampa Bay Buck. He is a San Francisco 49er. That is insane. He's one of the greatest receivers of all time. Last year was his first season without having 1,000 yards. It was because he was hurt. He's going to go down in the Hall of Fame. First ballot. No, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame, which at this point, he probably won't be. Um, you know, the Niners have a chance to make some noise. And if you're a 49ers fan, you should be very excited for what the 49ers got planned. You guys really should. I think Kyle Shanahan's a hell of a coach, and you guys are going to be in the contenders for the NFC Championship. So with that being said, guys, thank you for checking out the PGH Chris show here on PGH Chris TV. I have been PGH Chris. Thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next stream. Maybe do a stream this week. I'm gonna be going stream heavy next weekend. Got some things planned, which I will be announcing on the socials. Make sure you check out the Sports Jedi Network. Make sure you check out everything. We do have some plans, some big news on the Sports Jedi Network. So you guys will like it. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next one.